when I was about to start fighting and when I started fighting, I said, man, when these Russian dudes from these regions start to come, it's going to be a problem. Because you know how good they were as wrestlers.
Islam's so f***ing scary. I had a nightmare that I had to fight him.
I always looking for finish. I told you guys, I not just talk. Oh, fight week. Oh, my camp. Oh, media, I told. If my opponent give me small chance, I will close the night.
Or do you see one of the greatest combination of wrestling and jiu-jitsu, sambo essentially, mixed together all in one, and you see that? Like, either way, it's a win-win.
This is your first title defense against the guy that most say is the boogeyman of your division.
Umar, this is not Sean O'Malley. He's the biggest threat for all of us, dude. And I said, what you're going up against is you're going up against a killer.
Oh, yeah, you see, that's the problem.
Get your shit together, Dagestan.
That's the problem.
Those tough people over there, man.
That's some tough people, man.
How crazy has it been watching all these dudes from Dagestan
Oh, my
just
God.
invade MMA
I knew it.
and dominate?
I knew it.
Fighters from Dagestan have become an insurmountable barrier for any opponent. Their rivals face not just a man, but the embodiment of a true nightmare, perfect in every aspect.
It's gonna be best moment about Islam. He
How
always
about jacuzzi? You can come.
I was not there.
Come.
He's the world champion in the lightweight division. I want to move up the lightweight division. I want to face him.
But in a world full of predators, there will always be a supernatural force powerful enough to shift the balance.
No, I was going to say, oh yeah, Ilya Topuria can put Khabib and Makhachev in their place. Bitch. That's what I like. I like that, man. Like, Makhachev tries to pipe up, and then Ilya can literally just say, well, you got fucking slept out cold, bitch.
There's another guy up and coming, a good friend of mine, Ilya Tampora. Keep your eyes on him. That guy's gonna be a problem, man.
Ask to God to don't cross the paths with me, never ever, because I'm gonna you up whenever I'm gonna see you.
It's the third round that's the real close one, because I gave the first 2 rounds to Umar, and then you get into the third, you're like, ooh, that's the one. That one's close, because the 4th and the 5th were clearly Merab was coming on strong. Merab was like, it was astonishing, his endurance. Astonishing.
Georgian fighters have emerged as a massive threat to the era of Dagestani dominance. It's time to dive into the greatest clash in the UFC.
There's not just room in martial arts for the Lees and for the Gracies. There are philosophies out there. You put them to test, and they hold up or they don't. Coach Nurmagomedov's philosophies, for me as a viewer, are amongst the best I've ever witnessed.
It all began the moment the Dagestani Eagle folded his wing. The UFC lightweight championship belt was left vacant, and the fight for it came down to the suddenly peaking Brazilian executioner, Charles Oliveira, and Bellator champion Michael Chandler.
Islam was for my father like his son. My dad always keeps saying Islam is a future champ. That's why I have to be here, and that's why I have to finish what my father began.
Charles tore through the top 5 lightweights, proving himself as a dominant champion. However, with all due respect to Charles, his skills were nowhere near those of the heir to the Dagestani throne.
But Islam's choke must be otherworldly. Yeah. It must be otherworldly.
To do that to Charles?
Not just that, like the moment he's passing, Charles is tapping.
Yeah.
Like his squeeze has got to be off the charts. I talked to DC about it, and I said, hey man, I go, his squeeze must, he goes, oh, dope. I had him demonstrate a choke on me. And I thought it was gonna be fun. You know, like, show me how you do that. Show me how you do it. He goes, dude. When he grabbed a hold of me, I was like, oh, this guy's gonna choke me. And that's DC.
After that fight, the whole world showed respect for the Dagestani people. A previously unknown fighter who had spent years in Khabib's shadow completely shifted the balance of power in the division. He stepped into the octagon, first dismantled Charles Oliveira, and then went on to defeat the #1 pound-for-pound fighter twice.
So I'd like to say thank you to everybody in Russia, everybody in Dagestan, my entire team, my coaches, Javier Mendes. Thank you so very much. Thank you for support.
Congratulations, sir. Umar, ladies and gentlemen.
Of all the Dagestanis, Umar was a striker first. He learned the wrestling later. He's not like Khabib. When he first got to AKA, he was all in on getting better at wrestling and grappling. And now he's done that to the point that he can go and out grapple Corey Sandhagen, right? He's gotten so much better at it. But his first art was striking.
Listen, Omar will be a champion. Omar will break Habib's record and he will retire undefeated. He is this good. Omar is the best out of all of them. He's better than Habib, Islam, Usman. He's well-rounded. I know Omar for 10 years, right? For the last 5 years, I haven't seen anybody take Omar down. I'm talking about he trained with Islam Makhachev, trained with his brother, he trained with some of the best guys.
Umar Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin, was initially recognized mainly because of his famous last name. However, he quickly showed the world who he really was. His thrilling fights, which differed from his older cousin's style with active striking and constant exchanges, won the hearts of fans across the globe. This fighter displayed perfection in every aspect of the game.
Nurmagomedov, he steps down, but then you have Umar. Umar,
he looks great, man.
Fucking phenomenal. Completely different style.
Yep.
Like
just
evil
accidentally
striker.
knocked out a guy now, too.
Oh my God.
That was
sick.
And then he felt bad about it. He was like holding his head. I'm like, oh.
Such a good guy, right?
Like, it's awesome to see, but
KOs him, and then after follow-up shot, I was like, "Oh, you're
shit,
you're
sorry,
out."
I didn't know you were sleeping.
Umar's always had it, man. He's always been that next generation of kids. Even more so, you know, you had Habib, which was like he was so strong in grappling, and then you had Islam, which was like more of a dynamic striker. So he was that next generation. Then you had Umar. Umar was the next generation where he was just so fluid and so creative, and you know, and he's got the great wrestling. He's got everything that these guys have and more.
Umar and Islam formed a magnificent tandem, brothers by blood, religion, and nationality. They had the potential to hold the #1 and 2 spots in the pound-for-pound rankings. However, in the neighboring kingdoms, a completely new threat emerged, one ready to destroy anyone who stood in his way.
The biggest thing Ilia Topuria does very well is that he knows where he's dangerous and he puts himself there, and he's willing to put himself in the fire to get to where he needs to land a knockout shot.
Obviously, you consider yourself to be the better fighter than Alex, but in what area do you think you'll show how much better you are than him?
Everywhere. I'm better than him everywhere.
Bold and provocative statements in public, eccentric behavior, arrogance, and supreme confidence. This was the image El Matador chose for himself.
As one of the greatest. As one of the greatest in the featherweight division. And they're gonna remember me too, as they're gonna remember Jose Aldo in the division, Conor McGregor, to Alexander Volkanovski. I'm gonna put myself in that book.
But what truly set him apart from the loudmouthed masses of fighters was that Ilia always backed up his words.
Topuria just beat him everywhere, and it was like, oh my God, this dude hits hard. He wrestles well. He grappled well. I think he finished him with an arm triangle, if I remember correctly. And we were just kind of blown away. And then he had the Emmett fight, and it set him up. And it's like, yeah, there's a distinct chance this guy can beat Alexander Volkanovski. I think he's going to be a big star.
A streak of dominant finishes, an undefeated record, the aura of a true king, and the love of fans quickly earned Topuria a title fight against Volkanovski.
Shut up! I think this old man needs to teach this young fella a lesson. What do you reckon?
Hey, you see how he came dressed? You already know what's gonna happen. You just came ready for the retirement. Look how you look as an old man.
Get a good spanking, that's what's gonna happen, hey?
Shut the fuck up, you two, okay? He said he's gonna humble me. Stand up and do something, humble me. I'm here, right in front of you. You sound shit.
Ilia always got the job done. Even the great Alexander Volkanovski couldn't withstand his incredible power and was brutally finished in the second round. Topuria had one goal in mind: to become the greatest.
Maybe that they put me in the book of the champions, that they remember my name for the entire life. When they gonna start to talk about mixed martial arts, I want the people to have to mention my name.
When I think of like a scary opponent, what makes me go, ooh, that's Ilia. Ilia gives me that. He could put your lights out and change your life.
He's a good, he's good. He have good boxing, and he have hard fight in his division.
He had only one unfinished business left, a fight with the current BMF title holder, who recently delivered one of the best knockouts in UFC history in the very last second of the 5th round against Justin Gaethje.
But that punches chance. That Ilia has is going to be very hard with someone like with Max, and with the Max and the Gaethje fight, I wasn't surprised at all. I expected, I wouldn't say expecting, but I picked, Max to win. I was quite surprised how people thought he didn't stand a chance. I was blown away by that.
What makes me feel very excited about that fight is that no one could knock him out, and I'm like, there is no way I'm not gonna knock him out. I will be the first one to knock him out, because every time I watch him fight, I'm like, I'm way better than him. If you put me only with him in kickboxing or in boxing, even in a chess match, I beat him. Like, well, whatever you want to do, boy, I can beat you.
Ilya stayed true to himself and once again kept his promise. For the first time ever, the world witnessed one of the greatest boxers in UFC history, lying unconscious in a pool of his own blood. Stepping into the cage with this man meant signing up for a bloody war that was guaranteed to end in a knockout. Aside from a rematch with Alex Volkanovski, there was simply no one left for Topuria to fight. So he began hyping up a potential showdown with Islam Makhachev.
Un gran peleador. A veces habla demasiado, a veces no, pero siempre lo podemos resolver dentro de un octógono, ya que fuera no, porque le tendré que pagar toda la recuperación.
Fighters, what's your opinion about a possible future fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev?
I don't know. So they have some Twitter war now. So these both guys has to fight.
Unfortunately, we never got to see this highly anticipated clash. However, fate didn't leave us empty-handed, and instead gifted us with a fight that many consider the greatest title bout in bantamweight history.
Hey, Merab, you try to avoiding me. You doesn't mention my name. It's look like insane. Everybody talk about that, just not like me.
While Merab Dvalishvili was taking out contenders, Umar Nurmagomedov was steadily working his way toward a title shot. His victory over Corey Sandhagen put him right on the doorstep of championship glory.
Who cares? Who cares about deserve, not deserve?
Be man first. You have to be man first. You are a good fighter, but you're not a good man.
I'm the man.
You are piece of shit, okay? You are piece of shit. You lost respect. You lost respect as a man for me, okay?
And I don't know why Merab nervous, but I think Umar deserves. Umar here not because he is my cousin. He's here because he's 18-0 and 6-0 in UFC.
The whole world turned against Merab.
On January 18th in Los Angeles, tell me, how do you win? What gets you your hand raised against Umar Nurmagomedov?
It's gonna be tough fight, good fight, and of course I'm gonna looking for finish.
This was a true battle of nations, ethnicities, and cultures. Passionate and principled fans labeled it the Battle of the White and Black Papakas. It was also a showdown between two elite wrestling schools. After all, Dagestani and Georgian wrestlers are considered the best in the world on both the international and Olympic stages. In an incredibly competitive fight, Merab Dvalishvili emerged victorious.
I was actually a little surprised in the fifth round. He looked like he was fresh and ready to go. I expected him to run through him in the fifth, and he was a little more cautious and whatever, but he looked great. Yeah, Merab absolutely put on an incredible performance tonight.
I wasn't looking for wrestling. I wanted to punch the guy's face, and I was looking for a good opportunity to punch.
But the war between Georgians and Dagestanis didn't end there. Umar was publicly humiliated by Merab. The Dagestanis lost the battle, but not the war. Rest assured, the story is far from over.
Crazy as it sounds, I hope Ilya goes up to 55. I really do. Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, 45.
I'll take that.
Ilya goes up to 55. Fuck, I don't care if he only defended the title one time or didn't.
Agree.
Who cares?
You want Ilya to fight Makhachev?
Let's go. Let's f***ing go.
In a shocking turn of events, Ilia Topuria announced that cutting weight to 145 pounds had become too difficult, and he would be moving up to the next division. As the reigning featherweight champion, Ilya had the right to demand an immediate title shot in his new weight class. To add even more intrigue, Umar Nurmagomedov also made a stunning announcement. He had suffered an injury in the second round of his fight with Merab Dvalishvili.
He shouldn't be trying for takedowns. I didn't want, because it takes a lot of energy, because I knew that we had energizing Bunny on the other side, and the more energy we wasted, especially when you can't take him down easy, I was thinking, what the hell? So now I realized why he tried to take him down, because he broke his freaking hand.
A rematch between Umar and Merab now seems inevitable, with the Dagestani fighter seeking revenge for his humiliating defeat. But perhaps even more shocking is the escalating conflict between Ilya and Islam. Topuria never misses an opportunity to take shots at Islam in public interviews, while Makhachev insists that Ilya is unworthy of a championship fight. One thing is certain, the war between Georgia and Dagestan has only just begun. Who do you think will come out on top? Let me know in the comments. Regardless of the outcome, we are about to witness a truly historic event.